Hey everybody, thanks for checking out Hunt, Shoot, Live. Today on this episode I'm going to be trying out two different full-size 9mm pistols, the ever-popular Glock Model 17 and the Beretta Model 92. You'll see in typical Glock fashion, you've just got everything's all squared up and got your magazine release here and really no bells and whistles or anything. The Beretta Model 92 does have a ambidextrous safety, which is pretty handy. Also, it's got a hammer, which the Glock does not have. The Glock is the hammerless model. This doesn't seem like it would really get in the way of anything. But both of these are pretty sweet looking pistols. Relatively similar price ranges at this point, depending on which updated model, especially of the Glock that you get. But let's see which one's performs better. What I'm going to do is, as always, I've got target on the left, I've got target on the right. Ignore my silhouette. I've got on the shoot and see target, I've got one left, one right. I'm going to zoom in on that here in a second. I'm going to shoot my Glock 5 shots on the left target. I'll shoot the Beretta 5 shots on the right. I'll repeat 5 shots with the Glock on the left, 5 shots with the Beretta on the right, and then we'll talk about it. As always, whenever you're shooting, please remember that these aren't toys. Guns can kill people and they can kill you, so please be careful whenever you're shooting. Don't point a gun at anything unless you're wanting to put a hole in it. These are absolutely tools and weapons. They are not toys, but if you respect them, you can have a good time. So let's have a good time. First up, Glock Model 17, left target. Alright, 5 shots with the Beretta Model 92. Again, this one has a safety on it, so I'm going to get ready, flip the safety off. 5 shots on the right. Hammer down, safety on. Now we'll switch back. We'll do 5 more shots with the Glock. Okay, back to the left target. 5 shots with the Glock. Right, empty. Try the Beretta now. Beretta Model 92. Back to the right target. Alright, all clear. Let's go see how we did. So here's the results. You can see that I'm on paper with both of them. So, I think this is another example of, and that was, 20 yards away at a minimal. So both of these pistols shoot good. I will say that the difference that I noticed between the two is, of course, your Glock. Once you rack your round, you don't have the hammer fire, so the trigger pull right off the bat is really easy. I actually messed up because I'm more used to shooting a Glock and the hammerless design. I racked around, but I had decocked it, for safety purposes. And so whenever I started to shoot, when I cut the safety off, I had a really long trigger pull on that first round of 5. That kind of messed with me. At first I was immediately thinking, oh my gosh, this trigger's terrible. But after that first shot, and of course it resets itself from that point, the trigger was actually very good in the Beretta 92. Both of them, as far as their sight picture, there's really nothing terrible about either one of them. The Beretta is kind of like the Glock in that it's got those bright white sights, and I guess it would depend on what your eye preference is, what looks better to your eye, but I really like those bright white sights. Both of these models had them. Glock's got them, Beretta's got them. Honestly, I'm a Glock man. I love the Glock, but this Beretta Model 92, was a sweet shooting pistol. And you know, if you like the colorful stuff, you know, they got the options for some different colors. And you know, the Glock, of course, doesn't have a safety, and the Beretta does have the safety on it, ambidextrous safety, so that's pretty handy. Alright, so I brought the wife out again to get her objective opinion. She has no idea which pistol is which. I'm going to give her one of them first, let her shoot 5 shots. I'm going to give her the other one, let her shoot 5 more shots, and we'll get her opinion on what she thinks. She'll be shooting the silhouette target behind us, probably from about 10 yards. She shot the Glock 17 first. She had 4 hits out of 5. She shot the Beretta Model 92 second, and she had 2 hits out of 5 on that. So now we will let her share her opinion on which one she liked better and why. So again, you shot the Glock first, you shot the Beretta second. Which one did you like better and why?
The Glock.
She liked
Hands
the Glock.
down, the Glock.
Okay, big time, Glock. What did you like better about the Glock as opposed to the Beretta?
I feel like it's lighter. I feel like I can see better at my aim. Obviously, I hit 4 times with that one, so I feel like that was better. I just liked the feel, everything about the Glock way better than the other one.
Okay. And I must say, I can tell, and I hadn't paid attention personally, but you can tell that the Glock weighs less than the Beretta.
Ton. As soon as I picked up the other one, I knew I didn't like it.
Okay. So, like, as far as the feel of the grips, I mean, same thing, you like the Glock better? Or?
Yeah, because it's a smaller grip, and my hand is smaller, obviously, than a man's hand, so I would just pick the grip better.
What she's referring to there is you can see that maybe the Glock, as per usual with a Glock, is very squared off. The Beretta has a swell on the palm on both sides. And even with me gripping it, that is very true. Again, when I shot them, I didn't tell as big a difference, but her with smaller hands, she could tell the difference. And now that I'm paying attention, I can. The Glock does feel a little bit smaller in your hand. Alright, well, overall, you shot good with the Glock.
I would buy a Glock.
4 hits out of 5. And I'm a Glock man, so, well, you're in luck because we've already got several Glocks. So which pistol won in the battle today? The Glock Model 17 9mm or the Beretta Model 92 9mm? With me personally, I felt like there was not a significant amount of difference. I liked them both. I shot them both well. I am a Glock man. I love the look and the feel of a Glock. Personally, I'm going to go with the Glock. I'll keep buying Glock if it's between Glock and Beretta. I continue to become more of a fan of the safeties, though. You know, SIG has safeties on a lot of theirs. You know, maybe I could give the win to the Beretta for having an external safety. Overall, though, personally, I give a win to the Glock as far as the feel and the look for me and how they shoot. I didn't see a big difference in the sights. The sights on both the Beretta and the Glock were really good. And I can even remember as a kid shooting a Beretta for the first time. I really liked the sights on a Beretta. So, you know, both are great firearms. My wife, with smaller hands, much smaller hands, and I'm 6 foot tall. My wife is 5'2". You know, so she's quite a bit smaller than I am. You might want to take that into consideration when purchasing one of these. She definitely, hands down, preferred the Glock Model 17 over the Beretta 92 because she said the Glock was lighter, which now that she mentions that, I can feel that it is. I didn't pay no attention to it, but she did. And then she said, she pointed out the fact that where the Glock is squared on the grips, the Beretta is swelled on both sides. Again, I didn't notice it really, but she noticed that the Glock felt better. It was a little smaller in her hand. So you may want to take that into consideration if you're buying one of these two. But these, you know, overall these are two great full-size pistols. They're both great to to shoot. I wouldn't shy away from either one of them. Again, I think at price point right now for either one, depending on which gen you get, you know, you're going to end up in the 550 to 600, 650 range. Price is really negligible. So, you know, preference. If you got smaller hands, or maybe you're not as muscular of a build, then perhaps you would prefer the Glock. It's a little lighter, a little smaller grip, but for me personally, I thought they were both great firearms. But please remember, whenever you shoot, always be safe. Consider that these are tools, these are weapons, these are never ever toys, and keep having fun. If you respect the weapon, you'll have fun with it. I want to say a huge thank you to my buddy Matt Ray for letting me borrow these two fine pieces of machinery. But thanks for checking out Hunt, Shoot, Live. As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That way you can catch our newest videos as they're coming out each week. But we'll see you next time.